Hello everybody and welcome one and all to another video. Now before you say anything, you're probably asking the question, what is this game and why am I playing it? Well, let's start off with those questions. So first off, this is a game called Figure Fantasy, a game I've been playing for at least a year, and the reason why is research. Now, for those of you who don't know, I do videos mainly on Dislight, which is the other mobile game I play. Well, after a while, I started piecing together that something told me in my mind, I was like, something tells me that this formula is the exact same formula as Figure Fantasy. And it made me say, okay, if this is the same formula, we need to start digging deeper and realize something ridiculous. I wanted to experiment with the view counters. Now, for those who don't know, I mainly get views. And I was like, okay, I need to test these two games. So they're similar in methods, design, and here's what I'm talking about. They're both mobile games. They both have two sides. They're both gacha games. They're different in some cases, and most of it's just the same. So, for example, you have Chronos in Dislight, but in reality, you also have what is it called? It's Chronos, Apep, and Fafnir for Dislight, but in reality, you have the big three, which are these RC cars that battle you, which is similar formula to that. Now, that's not the only similarities I've started noticing. The similarities are also events show up every 3 weeks. The gacha system adds new legendaries each time there's an update every 3 weeks. And they're all are similar in a way. So these two games, Dislight and Figure Fantasy, have similarities that I wanted to start digging deeper into. The only difference I have noticed is that one of these differences is portrait style. So for those who don't know, Figure Fantasy does this sort of portrait. You know, the usual big, like, you know, the style is like this instead of this. Whereas Dislight does it the opposite. Instead of this way. So, this kind of made me go, okay, we need to test this, and I wanted to see which of these two games got the most views on my channel. Which is what we're going to be experimenting with. However, I picked the worst time to do experimentation, and I'm still going to commit to it. Because Figure Fantasy has a crossover, and I've never heard of it. There you go. You can scream in the comment section. I wouldn't care. This Figure Fantasy event has a crossover with an anime I'm guessing is called Angelbeats. Now, just to be honest here, I have never heard of Angelbeats. 90% of these events of Figure Fantasy I have never heard of before. There are a few where I say, this looks interesting, I'm gonna look into it. And there are a few that do that, okay? There's Hatsune Miku, Ultraman, and a few others here and there. Whereas the rest, I have just said, looked at them, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave it be. Or I never bothered to look them up. So, yeah, this is another one of those that I have absolutely no idea about where this is from, whether this is an anime, but there's Japanese voice actors again. Which I'm used to, because the past couple all are Japanese voice actors, except one, which didn't even have a voice actor entirely, so I'm okay with that. And that is Ultraman. If you guys want me to talk about this sort of, all these events that they've had, and like all the characters that are guest characters, I'd happily do that. So, if you guys enjoy this type of video, like, subscribe, bell icon, leave a comment down below, and without further ado, how about we read into this crossover sort of situation. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna try and do some homework.
どうしてかわからないけど、私を見て身構えるフィギュアたちがいる。 則違反よ。徹底的に潰すわよ。Even the snow will not bury the sorrow for bad. In trouble time, allergies abound. Even the snow will not bury the sorrow for bad. 法則違反よ。悪くない線かね。でも気を緩めないで。
So there's part 1, as you guys just saw. Now, as of this point, there also are some, like, trials in a way. So these are, like, challenges, which in the game you would get bonus, like, you would have the stars. Depending on how many stars you get, you got, like, bonus credit in the game's store. This is another similarity for this Light's store. The only difference is that they do name cards that you have impossible chances to get. Good luck. So I'd say, in my mind, Figure Fantasy has better chances at staying for longer. But I don't know this yet. I mean, it could close down next year. It could close down the following year. I don't know yet, because proof isn't, in my opinion. It depends on how many people watch this video and like this video. The main source for the chances of me to say this is the better one of the two depends on the view counter and maybe the like counter if absolutely necessary. So you guys are probably asking, what am I going to be experimenting with? Well, by the end of the month, I'm going to total up all the, from the amount of episodes I do for this event. This would also apply to Dislight as well, by the way, when that comes out next week. And then, by the end of the month, I'm going to go back, I'm going to look at the view counters, I'm going to total them up using a calculator, and whichever one had the most views gets the crown. And the reason why I'm doing this is curiosity. I mean, here's the thing. I do research every now and again. That's what Pirate 101 last month was for, and that was also the same for Roblox, for other games. In fact, speaking of other things, there might be more Nintendo videos happening this month going forwards. I have yet to know, because I'm still a bit anxious, but maybe we'll have it, but I don't 100% know yet. So until then, I guess we'll just have to play the, let's wait and see what happens game. However, I do need to end this episode here, because I'm pretty sure, even though it's shorter, it's still an episode. That means I have to end it at some point, but don't worry, I will end it after I've said these words. Thank you guys so much for watching this Figure Fantasy video. This isn't going to be a thing, by the way. It might just only be for this crossover event. If you guys want me to do more of these, do let me know. But first, make sure you click the like button, because that might increase the chances of me saying, this is this better. And do click the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, because I will, of course, be doing the other chapters, which, if you hit the bell icon down below, you will be notified of when they actually release, because apparently you can't just binge the entire story in one sitting, in, like, one go. You have to wait, like, a couple days for, like, the next part to release. This is their formula, by the way. So, on Monday, the next part will come out. And then whenever the next one comes out, and then the next one comes out. That's the only downside to Figure Fantasy, is it's got a bit of a delay between chapters. But that's okay. I'm still going to record all of them, regardless of reason. Unless, of course, people yell at me saying, don't do this again. And do leave a comment down below, possibly scolding me for not hearing about Angelbeats. I don't watch anime, okay? That's all I'm going to say. And I will, as always, see you guys in a later video. I will see you all soon. In, like, who knows?